Yo guys, what's going on? It's your boy Blank Online. Today we're talking microtransactions and the revenue that Activision has gotten due to Black Ops 4's microtransactions. But before I get any further in the video, make sure you leave it a like if you do go on to enjoy it, and click that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my future content. But let's get into it. Activision Blizzard has reported their second quarter results earlier this week and kind of detailed how well Black Ops 4 is performing financially as in comparison to Call of Duty World War II. At the same time this year, the player count in Black Ops 4 is higher and double that of World War II's was this time last year. In terms of hours played, Black Ops 4 is 50% more the time played in Black Ops 4 is 50% higher than in World War II. In terms of microtransactions, yet again, Black Ops 4 is higher than World War II and is projected to exceed the total from World War II's whole year. And the net booking from in-game items compared to World War II has grown as well. Across all their franchises, Activision has made $800 million just from microtransactions. $800 million, ladies and gentlemen. That is absolutely insane. Now, the reason I'm making a video talking about this is because I want to nitpick both Black Ops 4's microtransaction system and Modern Warfare's potential microtransaction system. We'll start off with Black Ops 4's. Black Ops 4's microtransaction system did not come into play until I think maybe 6 months after the game was released, probably even earlier than that. So after all the reviews came out, after Activision got all their initial sales, they pushed Treyarch into introducing microtransactions. What we got at the start was a pretty fair system. It was just purely cosmetics. It was specialist skins and weapon skins and those sort of things. So at the start of the game, or at least at the start of the microtransaction system, it wasn't a problem. Then we got the news that we're getting a battle pass, and it was going to be a free battle pass so everyone could get access to new cosmetic items, which was sick. And again, at the start of it, it was sick. The way you progress in the tiers, I wasn't too much of a fan of, for it being time played, and there was no real indication of how fast or how slow you're leveling. It was literally just based on how long you played the game for, which I'm not too much of a fan of, and I hope they change it in Modern Warfare. But then afterwards, after a certain period of time, and after all the initial praise came through, Treyarch decided to add DLC weapons. Those DLC weapons were locked behind the contraband stream and certain supply drops, so you had to play the game or push your money through the game in order to get those microtransaction weapons, which is how it's been in every Call of Duty since Advanced Warfare, I want to believe, and then it's just got progressively worse since then. After a certain amount of time, those DLC weapons came into the contraband stream. A couple of weapons were in the stream, so a couple of weapons could be accessed for free, but a majority of the weapons that dropped with each new event were locked behind supply drops. With each new event came new emotes, new skins, new sprays, new calling cards, new emblems, just a load of shit. And eventually it got to the point where it was with, let's say, Black Ops 3, where the supply drops were so polluted, it was near impossible to get the things you actually wanted out of them. So your weapons and stuff like that, and different other whatever camos and whatnot. So at the moment, Black Ops 4 is where that is. Black Ops 4 is at that point where the supply drops are so polluted that there's literally no point in buying them, because let's say you spend $30 to get $30 worth of COD points. That $30, let's say you pump that into supply drops, you're more likely to get a bunch of random that you did not want, and probably an epic camo here and there. But the likelihood of you getting a DLC weapon is so finite because of how polluted the supply drops are with the useless things. So all the useless stuff completely outweighs the things you actually want. And in that sense, the system is completely unfair. If we take a look into what we could potentially get with Modern Warfare, I think it's going to get even worse, because Modern Warfare is not going to have any paid DLC. So all DLC in terms of maps and stuff like that will be free post-launch. So where is Activision going to get their money from? Obviously, you know where they're going to get their money from. It's supply drops and just all that, right? I think that we are going to get a battle pass system here in Modern Warfare. I don't think it's going to be there at launch. I think it's going to be something that, like we saw with Black Ops 4, something that gets introduced a couple months after the game gets released and all the initial sales come through. I think that with Modern Warfare, we're going to get so much garbage and so much just useless things that it's going to get to the point like it is now in Black Ops 4, where it's not even worth buying it, because what your $30 you spend on COD points is just going to be wasted. So it's really no point in doing that. I think it's going to be even worse than what it is right now in Black Ops 4. I think that with Modern Warfare, Activision is going to push Infinity Ward to put any sort of microtransactions into their game, because they made 800 million this year. Across all their franchises, so it's not just Call of Duty, but 800 million in general. They're gonna want to make more than 800 million this year, right? So with Modern Warfare and with all the other games they're releasing, they're gonna want to make more than 800 million. So how do you do that when arguably your biggest game is not going to offer any paid DLC? You do microtransactions, obviously, to counteract that. Now, whether that be through a premium battle pass where users can pay $10-15 to get the premium battle pass and unlock better stuff through it, I'm all for that. I think that that's a good system that Fortnite has implemented into their game to make Epic Games millions and millions and millions of dollars. I think that you can make a lot of money off of microtransactions if you do it the proper way, and the proper way being how Epic Games does it. Look at Epic Games. They have the potential for them to make even more money if they added like DLC weapons or something like that. Even though it wouldn't necessarily work in a game like Fortnite, the way they do it, they make so much money off of it, because people are like, oh yeah, that's $2 for a skin, let's just do that. And they don't just bring out like really stupid looking skins, or I mean, I guess they probably do, but like, you get what I mean, right? The skins that they bring out, like, people get excited about them because they look cool, right? Why can't Call of Duty do that? Why can't Activision do that? It's hard to think of a reason why not. Like, why do you have to bring in all this random stuff and push developers to do this in their own games just so you make $800 million from microtransactions? Why do you have to do that? If you just created a fair system, right? If Activision just created a fair system in Modern Warfare, they'd make even more money, because more people will be enticed to put their money into it. I myself, I can vouch, I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but for myself personally, if, let's say this time next year, Modern Warfare has a decent system like Fortnite does for their microtransactions, I'll probably hold my hands up and say, yes, I did spend my money in that game. I did spend $2 for that operator skin. I did spend $10 to get the premium battle pass so I can get all this extra cool stuff, right? I did all that because the system that was in place is fair. I can't say that for Black Ops 4 because I don't agree with the way that Black Ops 4's microtransactions were handled. Yes, I did have COD points from when I bought the Prestige Edition, the Mystery Box Edition for Black Ops 4. So in my gameplays, if you see me running around with like the pirate sword, I think it was, I don't even remember what it was, that was not purchased. Technically it was purchased out of my own money, but I didn't buy COD points to buy that. I had leftover COD points that I chose to use on that. So I haven't put in my own money for Black Ops 4, and I don't think I ever will. Again, because I don't agree with the way they do it. And with Modern Warfare on the horizon, and again the fact that there is not going to be any paid DLC in terms of maps, you're sure as hell going to see supply drops. You're sure as hell going to see just, again, random crap. And even though Infinity Ward said that their microtransactions in their game is going to be realistic and will fit inside of their universe and not this ridiculous rainbow dabbing, you know that's coming. I cannot believe that for 1 second that this game is not gonna have all that. because that's what they said about Black Ops 4. Black Ops 4 was again meant to be a grounded, down-to-earth, realistic shooter. And look how that turned out. Seriously, look how that turned out. It was that for about 2 months. And then once microtransactions came into the game, it completely ruined that for me. So, with Modern Warfare, until I see it, until it is this time next year and Modern Warfare is still how it is advertised it is, and the microtransactions in that game is what Infinity Ward says it's going to be, at this moment in time, I can't believe they're I do not believe for a second that we're not going to get some dabbing soldier with a rainbow ghillie suit. Because I know that's coming. And it sucks, man. It absolutely sucks. But Activision just made 800 million from microtransactions. So who the f am I to criticize them? I didn't make 800 million from microtransactions. So obviously they're doing something right. But look, I don't know. If you guys have watched my videos long enough, you know my opinion on Activision. You know my opinion on what they've done to Call of Duty. So I won't elaborate any further. I just wanted to let you guys know how much money they made and how it's going to affect this year's game. So let me know in the comments down below. Okay, let's put your brain into the CEO of Activision. How do you make Call of Duty's microtransaction system both fair and profitable for your business? Put your brain into the Activision CEO's brain. Let me know what you think down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Click subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my future content. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.